What's happening, guys? Chris from NCG here, and today we're going to be doing a Solgaleo GX Rayquaza deck profile. Go run through the list, run through the explanation of choices, and then after we will talk about how it will compete in this meta, why it's a good choice to play, all that good stuff. So let's start off with the Solgaleo line. You've got one GX, one Baby, double Cosmeon, and quad Cosmog. You can cut Cosmeon down to 1 if you want. It's just, this is Solgaleo GX Turbo, so you want to get into it as fast as possible, so even if you don't draw a rare candy, being able to go Cosmog, Cosmeon up into GX Solgaleo is really good. So that is why we are playing that specific line. You play the Baby as an alternative attacker because it still goes 170, and then with Ultra Road you can then swap it about after it's done at 170. This is really good, especially against the Baby Alolan Ninetales, because your Solgaleo GX cannot hit it. So this hits it for weakness, definitely knocks it out, but even hitting against like Baby Volks or whatever, without having to waste the 3 energy discard, the Baby Solgaleo is too good, and the Shining Arrow is not too shabby either. So moving on to the second most important card of the deck is the Rayquaza. The way the deck runs is you have Solgaleo GX to use its Soul Burst GX ASAP. Slap a DCE on the Rayquaza because it does not specify basic energy. So get Rayquaza already to attack, and then you use Stun Steel Strike, discard all energies from it, which will usually be 3 steel energy, and then you go Ultra Road out into the Rayquaza, start piling up the energy again, and swap back into Solgaleo for the big hit. So we even have a infinite switch is really good and is very crucial to the deck. Having a 3 for 80 is not bad, I guess, but its main attack is the Turbo Storm to get the 2 basic energy back onto the Solgaleo. And then the last monsters is of course the 2 Tapu Lele GX, not 3 because it's not as necessary in this deck, but obviously setting up the Bridget is very important. So moving on to the supporters, we have 4 Sycamore, 3 M, 2 Guzma, 1 Hala, 1 Broxgrit, 1 Skyla, 1 Professor Cooey, and 1 Bridget. So in case you didn't read the title, this is a post-rotation list. So we are playing Guzma over Lysander. I probably would do that anyway. Guzma, because you've got Ultra Road, you can easily do the swap around. So you can obviously get Guzma out the way you want it, near enough, 9 times out of 10. So being able to ruin your opponent's play with Guzma is so good. Sycamore standard, 3 N, not 4, because I think it'll get a bit too cluttery, but we all know how good N is. 1 Hala because you turbo out your GX attack, so that's why I'm playing 3N 1 Hala, because you turbo out your GX attack, so you're near enough always going to draw 7 cards off Hala. 1 Broxgrit to put the energies back in when you've ran out. You can play energy retrieval if you want. It's just if you've got too many energies in the grave, or the discard, sorry, too much for Rayquaza to get out, then you can Broxgrit them back in. Or if you've had a slow start and you haven't used Soul Burst yet, that's where Broxgrit comes in. Skyla to get Choice Bands, Float Stones, all that good stuff. Ultra Ball. Professor Cookie, that 20 extra damage is so good, and drawing 2 cards is not too shabby either. And 1 Bridget, because Ultra Ball into Tapu Lele into Bridget is still one of the best openings in the game. So there's the supporters. Moving on to the items, for Ultra Ball, really standard. 1 Heavy Ball because Solgaleo is very heavy, so that you can search the GX with that. Pretty sure you can search the baby one as well. Let's have a look. You can indeed search the baby one as well, so there you go. Lots of targets for the Heavy Ball. 1 Level Ball to get Cosmeon, all that good stuff. 4 Rare Candy. just because this is, as I say, Solgaleo Turbo. So you want to get it onto the board as soon as you can, because if you resolve it and have Rayquazas to put the DCEs onto, you've near enough achieved your win condition. So that is really good. Double Field Blower for getting rid of Fighting Fury belts, Choice Bands, Float Stones just to corner your opponent, all that good stuff. Especially getting rid of Potown, which could be an annoyance. Having your Solgaleos have 60 damage on them before they've even taken an attack is not too good. So yeah, Super Rod, same reasoning as the Brock's Grits. Of course, you recycle a monster or Pokemon as well. So recycle the Rayquazas, just really, really good. Double Floatstone, or sorry, triple Floatstone. Because of Ultra Road, this becomes really, really handy. You could cut it down to 2 if you want. Maybe play a third choice band. It's completely optional. I'm just testing the 3 Floatstone at the minute because opening up, say even if you open up like Cosmog, you want to slap the Floatstone onto it to get into the Rayquaza, or Rayquaza if you start with it and you want the Ultra Road, you can obviously shift them about without having to use the Ultra Road. So there's the items. Energy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 steel energy. I believe that's the most consistent. This is just for going on to both Solgaleos, nothing else. You put the DCEs obviously onto the Rayquaza so you can do many, many damage. So let's talk about the deck in general. Solgaleo hits for 230, so that's already hitting most things in the meta. It's just 10 short of the Gardevoir. Right, no, sorry, it's exactly Gardevoir. So that's pretty sweet, even though it does hit for weakness. But yeah, that's pretty sweet. Knocks out anything of a choice band in the meta, just off an attack. So that is really, really strong. The matchups, even against Volcanion, which is his hardest matchup because of the fire weakness, this is still absolutely fine because you can knock out anything in the deck. Even if it's got a Fighting Fury built onto it, makes no difference. Solgaleo will still take it out. So if you play carefully with the Solgaleo Sunsteel Strikes, you can take out easy knockouts. Just don't commit when you're about to get Revenge killed. Against Metagross, this is still fine because, like I said, it doesn't matter about Max Potion because you can one-hit KO it, Sunsteel Strike plus the Choice Band, which is probably why you would play 3 Choice Band, come to think of it. So it's got a decent Metagross matchup, just depends who can set up quicker, because if you get the Soul Burst off, your setup is just far better than your opponent's. Then against Gardevoir, like I said, it guarantees to knock it out, which is fine. Against Ninetales, this is crucial because of the Luminous Barrier. Ninetales, this knocks it out. Obviously, a GX will probably come in to revenge kill it, so if it's another another baby Ninetales, you're probably going to have to rely on your Rayquazas to knock it out. But this is just really, really sweet. Even against Gardevoir, you don't even need to commit your GXs because the baby Solgaleo comes in to knock them out. And yeah, like any matchups like that, the more rare ones, Sunsteel Strike can still knock out anything as long as it has Choice Band onto it. So I believe that is really strong. The weakness of the deck is, of course, Stage 2 deck. All its best sort of trinkets rely on attacks, so you're having the Soul Burst GX to put the energies on to get going. If you don't get that off within the first 3 or 4 turns, you're probably not going to win the game. Rayquaza, obviously its sort of comeback is an attack as well. So like I said, its best setups are with attacks, which can be pretty bad because they are slow. Thankfully, the deck is completely end-proof because it puts the energies onto the Pokemon, so you're not like Logarithm GX or Big Wheel GX searching at the end phase to then get end. There's no real heavy discard decks or Sylveon with like the Crushing Hammers or the Team Flare Grunt, so discarding energies is not really that big, but Rayquaza can just get them back if needs be. So there you go, guys, hope you enjoyed the list. If you agree, disagree, please let me know down below. How do you rate Solgaleo this format, I just say, is a really strong alternative to the big 3 decks and Ninetales and any real deck, because its ability just to one-hit KO anything in the meta. So there you go, guys. Like I said, let me know what you think. Please check out our other YouTubes, please check out our Facebook. But for now, this is Chris from NGG.